we had a major victory for NASA, the very first probe to ever land on Mars safely and return data. It was called Viking 1. What was significant about this was not only could this probe take pictures and collect data, but it also conducted experiments to see if there was any life on Mars, which was a big deal at that time. In 1976, there was also a huge invention that would change our lives forever. I'll give you a hint. The Apple II was released. And what made this computer so special? It was because it was really compact, efficient, and easy to use. This computer established the successful brand we know today. If it wasn't for this computer, we might not even have an Apple today. Imagine a world without iPhones.
You mean we would all have Androids?
In 1977, President Carter made a proposal for healthcare. He proposed the Hospital Cost Containment Act to hold down rising healthcare costs, and the Child Health Assessment Program to improve health services for children of low-income families. While these did not pass in the end, it would have been a huge healthcare reform at the time to show the progressive trends. Now, maybe a lot of you guys don't know a lot about healthcare, but maybe you guys do know a little bit about video games.
Die, cookie, die!
¡Ay, me ganaste!
Does anyone know the first video game to successfully make it into the homes of the American people? It was an Atari, and many of your parents probably got it for Christmas. Today, a lot of people still collect them as a reminder for their childhood. The Atari was the Xbox of its time. There was another huge release also in 1977, the movie Star Wars. I'm sure most of you have seen a Star Wars movie, so you can see how successful they've become. It has lasted 40 years as a movie with one of the biggest fan base. They have come out with books, clothes, TV shows, and just about anything you can think of about Star Wars, as you can see on my desk right now. In 1977, we also had the Nuclear Proliferation Act. The treaty covers 3 mutually reinforcing pillars: disarmament, non-proliferation, and peaceful use of nuclear energy, and is the basis for international cooperation on stopping the spread of nuclear weapons. The core of the NPT is this: countries with nuclear weapons will move towards disarmament. Countries without nuclear weapons will not acquire them, and all countries can access peaceful nuclear technology. In 1977, in a city known as the Big Apple, the power went out for more than 25 hours. Not only was this the biggest blackout in history, it also increased the crime rate. Hey, get back here! People were breaking into stores, stealing, and more than 1,000 fires were intentionally started. It was also the largest mass arrest in history, with more than 37,776 people arrested. It signified the gloom and crime in New York City. Carter declared a federal emergency in the neighborhood of Love Canal in the city of Niagara Falls, New York. More than 800 families were evacuated from the neighborhood, which was built on top of a toxic waste landfill. The Superfund law was created in response to this situation. Federal disaster money was appropriated to demolish approximately 500 houses, the 99th Street School and the 93rd Street School, which were built on top of the dump, and to remediate the dump and construct a contaminated area for the hazardous waste. This was the first time that such a process had been undertaken.
One of the single biggest issues was the Iranian hostage situation. 52 American diplomats and citizens were held hostages for 444 days, from November 4th, 1979 to January 20th, 1981. After a group of Iranian students belonging to the Muslim student followers of the Imam's line who supported the Iranian Revolution took over the U.S. Embassy in Tehran. Many believe Carter's inability to resolve the issue cost him his re-election. 4 days after Reagan's inauguration, they were released. The Moral Majority was founded in 1979 by Jerry Fowler. It was a Christian right-wing Republican political group. It gained a lot of support, and even though it dissolved in 1980, it marked a shift in the 80s to Republican presidents being elected and conservative views being held. CNN first broadcasted on June 1st, 1980. They were the first news channel that did a 24-hour television news coverage. They became a very popular and credible source to many Americans, till even now in present time.
Can you state categorically? You are fake news.
Now, in March of 1980, the first visual signs of volcanic activity of Mount St. Helens were displayed after 123 years. The explosion blasted away a side of the mountain because of a major volcanic eruption. The eruption killed 58 people. Mud and boiling gas ran through miles off the forest and surrounding areas. Vegetation and trees were completely destroyed by the 660 degrees Fahrenheit hot gases. This caused hundreds of millions of dollars to be spent on highway repairs. The election of 1980. There were very clear issues dividing the candidates in the campaign of 1980. Carter supported the Equal Rights Amendment while Reagan opposed it. Carter called for a national health insurance program. President Carter and Reagan participated in a highly anticipated debate. Reagan did well in the debate, satisfying many that he was capable of being commander-in-chief. Ultimately, however, it was not these issues but the twin issues of the American hostages in Iran and what the Republicans called the misery index, inflation plus unemployment, that ended Carter's chance of being reelected. The movement is a conglomeration of autonomous, self-styled anti-fascist groups in the United States. The salient feature of Antifa groups is their opposition to fascism by direct action. They are known for their militant protest tactics, which have included property damage and physical violence. They tend to be anti-government and anti-capitalist, and they are predominantly far left and militant left, which includes anarchist, communist, and socialist. Their stated focus is on fighting far-right and white supremacist ideologies directly, rather than on encouraging pro-left policy.
During this time, there was a big conflict between two topics, the secular values and the Christian values. The secular values are based on the philosophy of secular humanism, which covers ethics, social justice, and rejects religion and its traditions, which is basically to follow a God and certain rules to have the opportunity to reach peace. In contrast, the secular values affirms that humans are capable of being ethical without a religion or a God. Well, that's all for today, guys.
Thank you for watching our course crash, and don't forget to subscribe.